Hello and welcome to today's update on the national presidential election, the U.S. presidential election between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And I'm going to give you an update on the state of the race at the national level. And today I'm going to add some results of some analysis I've done of the Nevada early voting figures. There's some interesting figures that are coming out of the state of Nevada, and I'm going to talk about that. Some real interesting stuff to think about. But first, let's look at the state of the race as of October the 25th. Very little polling yesterday. The very little polling. Harris and Trump right at 50-50 now. There are just a few national polls, only one state poll, and so very slight shift. There's really nothing much to talk about. And if you've been looking at this map like I have for some days now, this image is kind of, the colors are kind of start getting burned in your brain here. But let's go over these swing states, because that's what we're focused on, are the 7 swing states, and beginning with the closest one. And I think now Nevada has 0.7% Trump lead, 0.9% in Wisconsin, under 1% in those two states. Michigan, a 1.3% lead. North Carolina, 1.5. Pennsylvania, 1.8. Arizona, 2.2. And Georgia, the biggest margin, but still only 2.5. These are small margins. So that gives a 312 Electoral College votes to Harris's 226. The only other real question that I would have in terms of how I would put the any particular jurisdiction is the second district of Nebraska. I've got it that Harris is up 4.5 points. I'm not sure if that's the case. That I think it might be a little bit less, but at any rate, that's probably the only thing on this map that could be different. But otherwise, I think that all of the swing states, that Trump is ahead everywhere in the swing states, because the national vote is roughly at 50-50. So I'm going to spend the rest of this video talking about the early voting in Nevada. And I got this data. Here's the real important thing that I used to put this analysis together, as I use the swing state polling data from Morning Consult. They came out with a big poll, a big kind of data dump the other day on all of the 7 swing states. And if you're really interested, you got to get this downloaded. It's over 4,000 pages. Over 4,000 pages of polling data. I don't. Nobody has. There's not enough time in one's lifetime to go through all this stuff. But the state of Nevada puts out for early voting. They tell you what political party the people that are registered for, Democrat, Republican, other, or independent, and they group together other independent and other, Democrat, Republican. And then what you can do is you can use this data here. What I did was I used this data. This is across all of the swing states. Then I also compared this with some data at the state level for the state of Nevada, and put that and made some slight adjustments. And the big thing is the independent vote. And another thing here, they have about 50-50 across the swing states. I think Trump is up by about 1-2 percentage points in the swing states. So I made a slight adjustment in the independents for that. But what I did was I took these figures for the Democrat and Republican registered voters, and then I assumed that Harris has about, in the state of Nevada, about a 2 percentage point lead among independents in that state. So out of that, And then you also had data at the county level. So I could take at the county level, make that assumption of the voters in each of the counties for the number of registered voters by party affiliation, taking these estimations, and you can come up with figure for who's ahead in the state. And I have that Trump with about a 3 percentage point lead, about 235,000 to 221,000, about a 14,000 point lead in the state, given the current early voting. Now, people have been talking about this for a few days now. They've been noticing this. This has come as a surprise. The Democrats have been thinking that they're going to take the lead in the number of Democratic voters, but so far, day after day, the number of Republicans slowly actually has been increasing. So that's very interesting. Now the question is, are these just older voters that are more conservative, more Republican, that are coming out? You know, what's the shape of that? One indication that we do have is that it's older voters that are tending to vote early, so that it could have an impact. It's that's a question. My guess is this is probably a little bit a little bit higher than Trump would actually have, but it's a pretty good sign so far for Trump. And I think for if you're a Democrat, you have to be worried that this is persistent. So what I want to do now is look at each of the regions in the state, the three major regions of the state, and compare what to break this figure here down with the various regions of the state. And starting with Clark County, most of the vote in the state of Nevada comes from Clark County. And it's very heavily leaning Democratic county, but Harris is only up by 3 percentage points. So narrow, she has in this vote so far a very narrow lead. Now and she's running about a 6 percentage point spread behind Joe Biden, what he got in the 2020 race. So it's interesting. And we're seeing in Washoe County, that's Reno and Carson City, up in the northern part of the state, smaller vote, but the other significant urban area of the state. And Trump has a slight lead here. Biden carried this also. He carried this area of the state by about 3 percentage points. So this again, it's about a 6-7 point swing if this is what this represents. Again, maybe the younger people are going to come out and these figures are going to change. It's going to get tighter. But I do also want to turn to the rural and small town, because this is where Trump is running up a massive margin. Now he's up about 68-32%. It's more than a 2-to-1. Actually, he's running behind. His share of this part of the state in 2020 was about 72%. So it's interesting that he's running behind his 2020 percentage in the rural and small town, but he's running ahead of that in the urban areas. So the question is, are we just seeing a small town? Are we just seeing where older people are voting, or is it that we're getting a shift from Hispanics? We're going to find out in a week and a half. It's very interesting, and people are surprised. This is a bit of a surprise. So we're going to keep track on that. I'm going to be looking at the other early voting figures to see what we can get out of that. Again, with the caveats, you have to have caveats, but at least it can begin to give us a picture of where this race might be headed. So with that, I'm going to close, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.